I didn't know I was planning the night my family would finally understand what they had thrown away. It started with 68 invitations. Cream-colored cardstock. Hand-pressed gold foil. I mailed them on a Tuesday in March. I waited 3 weeks. I checked the mailbox every afternoon at 4 p.m. 0 responses. Not one. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments where you are listening from. I met Nathan at 2 a.m. in a hospital waiting room. I was there for an academic publishing deadline. He was sitting on a plastic chair. He was wearing faded blue scrubs and worn boots. Not designer. Just functional. He offered me half of a turkey sandwich. It was still wrapped in cellophane. Long night? I asked. He nodded. He looked tired. But his eyes were steady. It's when the work matters most, he said. I noticed his hospital ID badge. It was clipped to his belt. It was turned backwards. I couldn't read what it said. I didn't ask. I liked the man with the sandwich. I didn't need a title. 3 months later I brought him to dinner at my parents' house. My mother, Catherine, wore her pearls like armor. My father, Lawrence, spent 20 minutes talking about the new wing he funded at the library. They looked at Nathan's hands. They looked at his simple watch. "And what is it you do at the hospital, Nathan?" my mother asked. She sipped her Chardonnay. "Security," Nathan said. He didn't elaborate. He didn't smile. My father's fork hit the china with a sharp internal ring. The silence lasted 10 seconds. Later that night my brother Andrew leaned against the kitchen counter. He was scrolling through Instagram. "Security, huh?" Andrew smirked. "Must be exciting. Watching doors. Checking bags." Nathan just nodded. "It has its moments," he replied. During dessert my father complained about a dizzy spell. "It's just the vertigo again," Lawrence muttered. Nathan looked at him for a moment. "Sounds like vestibular neuritis, not vertigo. Has he seen an ENT?" Nathan asked. The table went quiet. My mother cleared her throat. "We have the best specialists in the city, Nathan. We don't need advice from the gatekeeper." The email arrived 2 days later. Subject line: "We cannot in good conscience attend." My mother wrote it. But I saw my father's phrasing in every line. She said Nathan was a nobody. She said our union had incompatible values. She sent a copy to all 68 invited guests. A boycott. I read the email 4 times. I didn't cry. I didn't call her. I called the caterer. "I need to cancel 68 seats," I said. Then I paused. "Actually, keep them. Set the tables. Put out the place cards. I want the room exactly as I planned it." The wedding day was blue and cold. The horticulture center was filled with the scent of moss and expensive lilies. 34 chairs on the left. 34 chairs on the right. All of them empty. My brother Andrew posted a photo of a sunset instead of a congratulatory message. "Watch people make mistakes," he captioned it. I stood at the back of the room. 90 feet of white runner stretched before me. No father to take my arm. No brother to walk beside me. Just me and 34 empty chairs watching. I started walking. My heels clicked on the floor. It was the only sound in the room. Nathan was waiting at the end. He wasn't wearing a tuxedo. He was wearing a dark suit he'd bought off the rack. He looked at me as I approached. He didn't look at the empty seats. He only saw me. "I don't have much," Nathan said during his vows. His voice was a calm, low anchor. "But what I have is yours. My time. My hands. My life. I see you, Melinda. I've always seen you." I felt the weight of his words. They were heavier than the gold foil on the invitations. The reception was quiet. We had a small cake. We had a few friends from my office. Then a guest from the wedding in the next hall collapsed. He was 62. He hit the floor near our table. People started screaming. Nathan didn't hesitate. He didn't look for a phone. He moved. "Someone call 911, he commanded. 62-year-old male. Possible MI. Wedding reception horticulture center. He was on the floor in seconds. His hands were moving with a precision I had never seen. "Charge to 200, Nathan barked at a bystander who happened to be a nurse. He was performing chest compressions. He wasn't the man with the sandwich anymore. He was a machine. The EMTs arrived 6 minutes later. They came in fast with a stretcher. They saw Nathan. They stopped. The lead paramedic lowered his bag. Dr. Cross, the man said. We've got it from here, sir. Nathan stood up. There was a small spot of blood on his shirt cuff. He wiped his hands on a napkin. Dr. Cross. I asked when the room settled. You said you worked security. Nathan looked at me. He looked tired again. I do, Melinda. I secure the airway. I secure the heart. I'm the chief of trauma at Penn Medicine. I stared at him. Why didn't you tell them? I asked. Nathan took my hand. Because you never needed me to be more than I was. You loved the nobody. That was enough for me. Someone had filmed the collapse. They posted it that night. By morning, the video had 2.8 million views. People recognized him. The hero surgeon at the empty wedding. My mother's group email was leaked publicly by an angry cousin. It was retweeted 68,000 times. The world saw the nobody and the family that boycotted him. 48 hours later, everything changed again. My father, Lawrence, collapsed at his office. A massive cardiac event. He was rushed to the nearest level 1 trauma center. Penn Presbyterian. Nathan was the surgeon on call. He had just finished a 12-hour shift. He saw the name on the chart. Lawrence Mullins. The man who wrote the 4-page letter about incompatible values. The man who called him a gatekeeper. Nathan didn't call me to ask for permission. He didn't hesitate. He went into the scrub room. He washed his hands for 5 minutes. He stepped into the theater. He spent 4 hours inside my father's chest. I sat in the waiting room at 4 a.m. This time I was the one waiting. Nathan walked out at 5:15. He was wearing green scrubs. He looked exhausted. He sat down next to me. He's stable, Nathan said. He leaned his head back against the wall. I don't pick and choose who deserves care. That's not the job. My father woke up 2 days later. He was pale. He had tubes connected to his arms. He looked at Nathan, who was checking his vitals. Lawrence tried to speak. His voice was a thin rasp. I called you nobody, my father whispered. Nathan didn't look up from the monitor. He adjusted the oxygen flow. That's between you and your daughter, Nathan said. My job was to keep you alive. I did that. My mother tried to visit. She stood in the doorway of the ICU. She looked at Nathan's white coat. She looked at the title embroidered on the chest. Chief of Trauma Surgery. She didn't come inside. She couldn't look him in the eye. Nathan didn't care about the apology that never came. He didn't care about the viral fame or the 68,000 retweets. He went back to work. He kept taking the night shifts. He is still just Nathan to me. The man who brought me a turkey sandwich at 2 o'clock in the morning. The man who held my hand when my family let go. When my family let go. The man I walked toward down 90 feet of aisle past 34 empty chairs. Choosing love over everything else. In the end, the nobody was the only one who stayed to save us.